Before we start coding, it is quite important for me to introduce you some fundamental concepts relating to the trading world. It is necessary for you to understand what we are talking about so you can follow through the explanation of the robot and the financial market itself. It's not going to be quite deep, but it's going to be enough for you to understand exactly what the robot is doing at any moment. Let's start with the most fundamental concept of all, an asset. An asset is anything that has value in the market and that you are interested in acquire because you believe that in the future the value is going to increase. For example, you can buy an Apple stock, you can buy the index SP 500 or Nasdaq, or you can also get cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. There are also many other assets you can buy, like natural resources, oil, and gold, for example. So, in simple terms, an asset is anything you are interested in owning now because you believe it's a value it's going to increase in the future, so you can sell and make a profit. Now, this helped me to introduce the next concept, which is the currency. The currency is the unit we use to express value. So any country have their own currency. I live in Europe and we have the euro. United States of America have the US dollar, and there are many more. So we use this together with an asset to express the value. If a Bitcoin, for example, costs 70,000 US dollar, you can give $70,000 and get one Bitcoin. But at the same time, the market for euros probably will be around 60,000 euros. It's the same value, it's one Bitcoin, it's $70,000 and 60,000 euros. But you get the same value. This helped me to introduce the next concept, which is the trading pair. Trading pair is when you get an asset together with a currency. For example, a Bitcoin USD. As I explained before, you can have this, for example, a Bitcoin costing $70,000. This combination helps us to understand exactly what we are expressing in which value. So the key idea in here is that every asset it has to be tied to a currency to determine the proper value. Now I want to start talking about price because price works very different in financial market than in the real life. Let us start with a basic example. You can buy a phone, an iPhone on an Apple store. And if you go today, tomorrow, next week, or next month, you will expect the price of the iPhone to be the same, unless you are lucky enough to find an offer, right? On the other hand, we have supermarkets and we have products like vegetables. They are seasonals, right? So the price can fluctuate over time. Even though you can expect, for example, that a tomato in summer is going to be cheaper than a tomato during winter. But the price variation will be somehow slow and predictable. But the price in financial markets is totally different because it's constantly changing even every second. What is happening is you have people around the world that are buying and selling an asset at the same time that you probably want to do it. So if somebody is buying, the price is going up because the demand is increasing. And if somebody is selling, the supply is going up, so the price is going down. Imagine for a second that this happened in a supermarket and somebody buying a tomato in Canada is directly impacting the price of the tomato on your cest for today. And not even for today, for the next 5 seconds. You could literally pick the tomato, will be €1, and 3 minutes later, when you go to pay, it will be €1 20. It can happen. So this is how the prices behave. To understand all these prices, we have a standard called OHLC data. This stands for open, high, low, and close. And it's quite easy to understand, right? This what we are going to have is a period of time, for example, a day or 1 hour, and the price is going to be expressing that. For example, when the market opened today, the price was €1, then it went up to 120, it went down to 90, and it closed in €1 10. This way, we can easily understand what the price was doing on a certain period of time. If we see this data as an Excel file, as a table, you won't really be getting much information of it. And this is why we use something called price charts. A price chart is just a tool that we use to represent the price in a way that we can really understand over the time. If you have been somehow related to the trading world, this should be quite natural for you. But otherwise, what you need to understand that every day or every hour, we we draw the candle that we receive. That what you see in there is called a candle, and that is the open, high, low, and close price. And for example, we can easily see the last year in a simple glance. This is what price chart is quite powerful because you can really understand easily what was happening on every time. On top of this price chart, we can build indicators. Indicators are mathematical calculations that help us understand the data and transform it into signals. So, for example, we can get the average price of the last 20 days and draw this red line that you see in the screen to understand what was the median price. So, you could say quickly that everything that is under that average price is relative cheap, and everything that is on top of that average price it's relatively expensive. Indicators do not predict the futures. They are used to give you a guidance of what is happening and what could happen. But per se doesn't mean that if the price is under the line, it's automatically going to go up or the other way around. That's why they are indicators. Now that we understand the price, the next concept for me is actually the most important and the most ignored by everybody on the trading world, which are the entry strategy and exit strategy. It's quite simple. An entry strategy is a set of rules that help you decide when to enter to the market. And an exit strategy is a set of rules that will help you to decide when to get out of the market. A very good example of an entry strategy is, for example, we can decide to buy every day. So every day at 10 a.m., we just automate an order for 10 euros, let's say. That is an entry strategy which is repetitive and is known as the dollar cost averaging. You can schedule this every day, every week, every month, but the more entry points you have, it's going to be better because you are going to smooth the price and try to get a more stable average price. On the other hand, we have exit strategy. One of my favorite, and it's quite simple to understand, it's what I call target percentage. So basically, you say, it doesn't matter the price where I buy, I want to sell it when it's 10% more. So if you buy a Bitcoin, as we were saying before, when it costs $70,000, you automatically place an order to sell it when it's $77,000. This way, you will effectively get 10% profit. And this is for me one of the golden rules of the whole trading system. Before you open any position, you have to have very clear what is your entry strategy and your exit strategy. An order is an instruction you send to the broker to buy or sell an asset. An order represents your intention, not the final execution. So, when you are creating an order, you are telling the exchange what to do, but that doesn't mean it will happen immediately. There are different type of orders, but the two more important are market orders, which basically you buy the asset at the current price, or limit order, where you can establish a price where you want to buy or sell the asset. The next concept is a trade. A trade is the real execution that happens in the market for you to buy or sell that asset. It happens when your order gets matched with another participant in the market. For example, if you want to buy an Apple stock, there must be somebody willing to sell it at the same price. And now I want to talk about the position, which for me is the most important concept in here, and it's something that doesn't exist on the trading market per se. This is the result of your trades over time. So, for example, if you buy an asset and never sold it, you have an open position. And if you already sold that asset, you have a closed position. These are all the concepts you need to understand anything we are going to be doing and building in this robot. In the next episode, we are going to try backtesting all these strategies so you can have an idea how much profit you could be making if you invest for 1 week, for 1 month, for 1 year, for 5 years, for 10 years, etc. So, if you like the content I am creating, please subscribe to the channel. I'm Mr. G, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Bye.